All right, so let's kick it off with this great story. A footballer who was allegedly axed for farting and laughing speaks out on reports. So I don't know if you've heard of this, but Brazilian defender Marcelo was let go by Ligue 1 club Lyon this season after falling out of favor for allegedly farting in the dressing room following a 3-0 defeat where he scored an own goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I mean, just drop him to the reserves. You don't need to fire him over it, but it's pretty funny. But, it just depends how bad the farts actually were. And, because some people, you and I both know what this is like. I've been in situations where, it's worth firing them or leaving them by the roadside instead of letting them back in the van or whatever. I can understand it, but
it says that Lyon legend and now sporting director of Les Gons, Juninho Pernambucano, absolutely nailed that pronunciation. Also commented on the situation, tweeting, "See, I told you, defender has to fart loud, long, and stinky. Yours was only loud, and then it's weak."
So it wasn't even stinky; it was just loud. So they fired him for that. Come on, dude. That's pretty lame, but all right.
You gotta have priorities.
I mean, I'm pretty sure footballers do worse things than fart in the dressing room. So, it's just a warning to.
That is the worst thing I've ever heard of a footballer ever doing. Ever.
All right. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, at his next team, he needs to just keep his farts for on the field. I think he just needs
to follow through next time. Gotta make the most of it.
I wonder what would happen in that scenario. Would they discipline him then, or what's your stance?
If it was loud, stinky, and
good point.
Gotta get it right, otherwise, it's not good enough.
True.
Well, I found an article that was talking about humans who have married non-humans.
Nice.
So a list of some of the finest people this planet has ever, who've ever walked the planet. So the first guy is Yuri Tolochko, again, perfect pronunciation, who is often accused of being a pervert because he sleeps with sex dolls daily.
I mean, does he have one for every day of the week?
Well, he married one back in 2019 with actual guests attended and footage of it.
How many of the guests were sex dolls? That's what I want to know.
Not enough.
Did people bring their sex doll to the wedding?
What do you get a sex doll for their marriage?
That is a great question.
What happens on the sex doll side of the like the bachelor or hen's night? Could you imagine like you're friends with a guy who's getting married? Say you're a girl whose friend is getting married to a sex doll. And so therefore you're like, well, I'll be the bridesmaid. So therefore I've got to take it out on a hen's night.
Can you imagine the stripper when they turn up?
You need to give it
you want me to what?
Imagine breaking it to the guy that, actually she went too far with one of the strippers and there was penetration and
enjoying her last night as a single doll. So
yeah. Well, they went through it all. He slipped the ring on the finger. He planted a kiss on her. They had their first dance as husband and wife.
Dance is a strong word. And
they thought that the love would last forever, but the unusual relationship, it goes on, has since ended after he cheated on her with a strange object. He eventually divorced her to enter into a polyamorous marriage with plastic models Luna and Lola.
What?
So basically, he cheated on her with 2 other dolls and is now dating them instead.
I don't think you need to get a divorce from your sex doll.
Well, you do.
I mean, I just think you can just, I mean, I don't think she's going to complain. It's fine.
Well, yeah, I guess. Well, the next person did. So Japanese man, Akihiko Kondo, perfect pronunciation, has been married for 4 years to a hologram of a fictional character. But
It's a rough one.
while the marriage is on the rocks, after a software update prevented his wife from speaking.
Oh, no.
He married the hologram of Hatsune Miku, a computer-generated pop singer, in 2018 in front of 40 guests at a 13,500 ceremony.
Wow.
He's a school administrator, describes himself as a fictosexual, someone sexually attracted to fictional characters. And he believes romantic connections between humans and holograms should not be stigmatized. How dare people like you judge such fine folk like this?
I mean,
It's just jealousy.
it is, I mean, I wish I could have got that hologram and married her instead. Oh, wait, I could probably just get the exact same thing, but hey, whatever.
But then you would run into the problem of the software update as well.
Yeah, you just got to keep an eye on those
your wedding wouldn't be 13,500 pounds. You'd only spend like 11,000 pounds, and therefore your relationship with the as
I'd
a
keep it pretty
fictosexual
fucking
just
quiet
wouldn't
is what I would do. I'd be like, I'm not going to tell nobody about this. When she asks me, I'd be like, no, I'm not putting you on my Instagram.
The thing is, she can't ask you because she can't speak now that she doesn't have a software update. So
that's, ideal marriage situation right there.
He said it's simply not right. It's as if you're trying to talk a gay man into dating a woman or a lesbian into a relationship with a man. I believe we must consider all kinds of love and all kinds of happiness.
Whatever floats your boat, dude. But you probably should not have spent 13,000 on a wedding to a hologram. So this is just what I'm saying.
Well, what about this next woman who married a tree? She visited the 37-year-old former another teaching assistant, which doesn't bode
brings
well
up some
for
questions about teaching assistants.
Yeah. And what about the next generation if this is who they're being influenced by? But she visits her husband, the tree, 3 to 5 times a week. She claims the elder tree was the one because of its earthly energy.
How does she know that the tree is her husband and not her wife?
I don't know. I added that in and I probably misgendered the tree.
She's, I feel like that's an important thing. I think she should be like reprimanded in some way.
Well, after an unforgettable wedding to the wooden soulmate, the mom of 2 even changed her name to Elder to deepen the connection with her partner. Now, it gets even wilder. Kate, who has a real-life boyfriend who is accepting of her marriage, said, people still ask questions and are still unsure of my motivations. I get asked, has being married changed your life for the better? Yes, it has. Do you love the tree? Yes, I do.
So does she like freak out when she sees wooden objects? She's like, no, it could be my husband. Oh shit, it's fine. It's fine. It's just a table.
Well, how dare she cheat on her husband with a boyfriend? I think that's wrong.
It's unusual to have that. All right. But
that's the unusual part about this.
That's the unusual part of this situation. It raises so many questions. I mean, was she, in a forest taking a nice leisurely walk and she was like, that fucking tree right there. That's the one for me.
And like, is going to a forest like going to a strip club for her? Like,
yeah,
they should go to a forest and go, oh my God, so many naked trees.
I mean,
how do I contain myself?
I feel like this lady should be careful if she's driving. She might get distracted by the trees at the side of the road. She needs to just contain her desire to be near trees. So I don't know. This is interesting though, because who in fact marries a person to a tree? Like, who officiates that? I'm pretty sure the Catholic Church have a stance against it. So it's not going to happen.
I don't know. I think that's the new age church. They're open-minded and pro tree love.
All right, then. I've learned a lot.
Well, how do you bring the tree into the church for the ceremony?
It's a great question. It's a great question. I don't know.
The next one is a woman who is married to the ghost of Michael Jackson and uses her to eat cookies. So she wrote about her courtship with the ghost. Michael stays in me all the time, so he comes to the restroom with me and calls these special bonding moments toiletries. He sings and dances possessed in me, or channeling if you prefer to do it professionally. He talks to me a lot, which is not what I expected from the shy man I saw on TV of all those years that I was a fan. He stays possessed in me, relaxed, not channeling, and just enjoying living through me and communicating with me as a husband. So he likes to eat in me. He loves cookies. He cusses a lot more than I'd expect him to as a former fan.
Yeah, that's I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't think it's Michael Jackson.
Where's your proof? You can't throw wild accusations like that out there without any evidence. So give us some evidence.
I'm not stating a fact. I'm just saying my opinion is that I don't think it is.
Look, it's very dangerous to be throwing out wild conspiracy theories out there like this if you don't have any sliver of evidence.
I think there's been enough proceedings where we know Michael Jackson was not going to marry too many women. So I think unless you're like a 12-year-old. What if you want to eat
cookies in her?
I think that's just an excuse to eat cookies and just own up. Just be like, hey, I like cookies. I'm going to fucking eat the cookies. Imagine that was
your way of breaking a diet. Like this whole thing was like a secret thing. She's on Weight Watchers and just got hungry and
because I bet, funnily enough, Michael Jackson likes her favorite cookies, not just some random cookies that he would have eaten when he was alive.
Chocolate chip. He's a big chocolate chip cookie guy. And also, that happens to be her favorite.
She clearly doesn't realize that Michael Jackson dying is a conspiracy theory that's not actually true. And he's just, off somewhere living his life. So
imagine how much that would destroy her reality to find out that he actually was alive.
The comeback tour. She's like, no, wait, what?
Well, see, that's the real reason he can't come back. Like he would return otherwise, but it's the whole,
wife won't let him.
Yeah. I hear the same about Tupac. He's like, he's alive and whatever and going to come back, but because he's married to someone as a ghost and likes to eat cookies as them, doesn't want to destroy their reality.
There's always something stopping these legends returning. There you go.
Yeah, well, the next woman is open about being an objectum sexual, which means she develops relationships with inanimate objects.
Vibrators.
And she would, no, that would be too normal. She's actually in a relationship with the Eiffel Tower.
All right. Well, does she live in Paris? Does she?
Well, they broke up. So they were in a relationship for 10 years.
Nice. How do you think someone breaks up with an object?
Why would you assume she broke up with the object? Because this reads as if the object broke up with her.
Oh, that's even better. I want to know how that went down.
She says, I've accepted defeat. However, Eiffel will always have a place in my heart.
Nice. It's like, did she turn up to see him one day and there was other people taking pictures like wrapped around him? Oh,
he cheated on me. Yeah, all those people making love on the Eiffel Tower.
Let's imagine being the therapist and being like, he cheated on me. All right, who did? The Eiffel Tower. Have you not paid attention to my story?
I think there'd be a lot more wackiness before you got to that point. Where you'd be like, okay, well, yes.
I mean, imagine like you meet new coworkers. You're like, yeah, I'm in a 10-year relationship now. Oh, really? Yeah, that's cool. 10 years. Congratulations. Yeah, me and the Eiffel Tower.
We never get to see him. Why is that? You should bring him along to the next company event.
Have you got any pictures? Yeah, here we are. That's just you at the Eiffel Tower. Exactly. What are you talking about? Oh man, that's it. But these weren't married. They were just in a relationship. Is that right?
No, married. Oh no, that one was relationship, not married.
Nice. See, after 10 years. After 10 years, if it doesn't head towards marriage. Yeah.
That was the Eiffel Tower's mistake. If you put the ring on it, things would have been different.
Exactly. Yeah, you're gonna lose out there. But hey, that's that's cool. You know, there are other landmarks around the world that are open for business and available, I guess. So
yeah. Well, this next guy this story is a bit wild. So, cult leader whose devotees ate excrement arrested after 11 die in jungle camp.
I wonder why.
So police raided the home of Tawi Nanlin, 74, in the middle of the jungle of, Chaya Phum province, Thailand, after they were alerted by, there is way too many names in this that I cannot pronounce. They alerted by someone who told them her 80-year-old mum was staying at the site and was blocked from returning to her family.
Wow.
The leader allegedly called himself the father of all religion.
Sweet.
And he made her mother rub his phlegm on her face.
His phlegm?
Yes. I went to visit my mother and I saw how women were forced to follow a dress code by wearing a knee-length sarong and men had to wear formal trousers. Everybody had to remove their shoes before entering the site. But what was even more shocking was that I watched my mother rub the leader's phlegm on her face and ate the man's scurf. Never heard the term scurf before.
Yeah, that's a new one.
If it's the other part, then, well, it's going to be weird. Oh, it's like flakes of skin.
Ah. Well, there you go.
There were 11 dead bodies of the devotees on the premises. My mother had also instructed me to leave her body in the same place. But they were, it's reported that members were also thought they were immune from COVID because of the leader's apparent divinity.
Oh, yeah. That'll do it.
If only we knew that was how to beat COVID.
This whole thing could have been over long before.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that is not how you beat COVID, and we don't want to be spreading disinformation
I mean,
imagine we got banned for this story, spreading misinformation about.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't surprise me, but at the same time, our stance is clear. We don't buy into that. It's clearly scientifically short of I don't know, everything.
Just slightly off, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, well, moving on. What would you do if you won the lottery?
Well, I don't know, buy a house at the beach or some shit like that. I know, like in a sunny country, not in Ireland. So, yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Well, apparently there's a lottery curse, and seeing many lottery winners go broke. So this article goes off on people who've won but have been cursed. So the first guy won 45 million pounds on the Euro Millions jackpot.
Nice.
But it all ended in tragedy 7 years later when he was involved in a tragic Christmas Day crash. He caused a head-on crash on a country road, which killed him and someone else as well.
Wow.
Yeah. And he didn't die. He killed someone and then, yeah. The next person spent their money on drugs, booze, and sex parties. So they won 9.7 million pounds at the age of 19, which is, yeah, got to be a bad time to win it, you would say, because you really wouldn't have built up any skills to do it. So when he won it in 2002, he was working as a bin man and wearing an electronic tag from a previous misdemeanor. He was completely blown away by his change in fortunes. So he struggled with his addiction, squandered much of his fortune on cars, sex parties, drugs, and copious amounts of booze.
Nice.
11 years later, he was bankrupt, and yeah. The next person won 10 million pounds and was quick to gift millions to his family and even spared hundreds of thousands for his ex-wife. But he made the fatal error of investing 4.6 million euro into his football club, Livingston FC, which then went into administration. Because he used his riches as a guarantee against the club's loans, he was liable for all the debt.
Oh, no.
Slight mistake there.
Yeah. Fucked up on that.
This next woman, Kaylee Rogers, she won at the age of 16. She won 1.8 million pounds.
Wow.
She spent her winnings on 18,000 pounds on plastic surgery, 250,000 pounds on cocaine, another 300,000 pounds on clothes, and she gave away 500,000 to friends and family.
I wonder, did she just make an order online, get me 250,000 pounds worth of cocaine right now? It all gets delivered at the same time. Put that in the cocaine room.
That should be the new mansion room. You got your wine cellar and then you have your cocaine room.
I wonder when you go to collect your lottery winnings, do they they have presentations like, this is where you invest your money. This is where you can buy fancy cars. This is Alan. He sells cocaine. If you want.
He's only 10% markup, but as a lottery winner, that's a good deal for you.
It's good shit. It's pure.
Now you've won 100 million, so you can actually afford to buy your own jet, fly it in direct from Colombia, and you're all good.
How much would you like to order on the initial order? Get 10% off.
Well, the next woman who was only 17 and won 1 million pounds while working an £8 an hour job, but she later threatened to sue, claiming it ruined her life. So
how dare you give me the prize I entered for?
How dare you give me 1 million pounds?
How did it ruin her life? Does it say?
Well, she spent it all on whatever. She said, I thought it would make my life 10 times better, but it's made it 10 times worse. I wish I had no money most days. I say to myself, my life would be so much easier if I hadn't one.
I mean, I think she needs to give us more details there, because what's so bad about it? Like, what's she done? Has she? I don't know. But also, like, the idea, what are you gonna sue for? You're gonna get more fucking money.
Yeah. How dare you give me money? So I'm gonna sue you so I can get more money.
I'm gonna sue you for 10 million, motherfuckers. Be fucking miserable.
I'm gonna sue you for another £1 million because £1 more £1 million is the difference.
I wish I had no money. I'm going to sue you and then give you back all the money I won. Like, I mean, if you're not miserable with money, just give it to someone, sponsor a podcast, your favorite one, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, that's a weird one.
Well, the next pair were kind of geniuses. So they stole debit card details to buy a lottery scratch card that won £4 million.
Ooh.
The pair from Manchester were jailed, but not before they went on a 4-day bender after scooping the prize. However, the lottery company were suspicious because the guy revealed he didn't have a bank account for the cash to be paid into. And they ended up doing 18 months as a result.
Rookie mistake. If you win 4 million and you go to collect it, stop at the bank and open an account first. And then it'll take you like 30 minutes. It's fine.
Well, I think like just stage 1 of living is have a bank account. Like, I don't know. It's a fairly basic. Yeah. At
this day and age, I don't know, people. How are people like getting paid buying stuff? I don't know.
Well, I mean, obviously they're not, because they're out stealing lottery debit cards to get. Yeah.
Good point. But,
well, the next guy is a pretty wild one. So they call him the Lotto Rapist. Oh. He won £7.2 million on the national lottery in 2004 while in prison after being convicted of attempted rape. He bought the ticket at an Asda in Middlesbrough in 2004 while on weekend leave a year before he was freed.
So when you're in prison, you just get a weekend off and you go buy lottery tickets.
So he's only spent 30 years in jail since 1973 for 1 rape, 3 attempted rapes, and 2 indecent assaults.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem like a good dude, to be honest. Seems like a bit of a dickhead.
It doesn't seem like he shouldn't be out and about.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Let alone buying lottery tickets and winning.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's fucking weird. But,
well, the next story is one of our favorite airlines. Not the usual Ryanair, but WizzAir.
Oh, cool.
So 2 thugs smoked and drank on WizzAir flight to Crete, punched pilot in mass brawl.
Good. Yeah.
So a WizzAir flight descended into anarchy on Tuesday evening after a bunch of boozy and aggressive Brits began to beat up the pilot. Always a good thing to do. Yeah. To beat up your pilot on a plane.
Good. I mean, yeah, solid thinking right there.
Like, even if the pilot was the biggest asshole you could think of, you would still just go, well, maybe we wait till we land and then we beat the shit out of him. Like,
yeah, maybe get us to our destination, then we'll kick the shit out of you. So, yeah, they didn't think that one through.
No. Actually, they did do that. So they I completely take it all back. These people are geniuses. They did wait until it landed. So the plane arrived, but the violent passenger reportedly got angry after being told he would be escorted to the airport by police due to his bad behavior on the flight.
Okay.
The pilot, who obviously is completely in the wrong here, attempted to calm the man down. So obviously he completely deserved this. He and his friends set upon him, causing the pilot to receive a hit.
That's what happens. Learn your lesson.
Yeah. Maybe you need to calm down, Mr. Pilot.
Oh.
And another eyewitness claimed that the men had been abusive to everyone on board and had boasted of drinking since 10 a.m. before they began smoking on the flight.
Yep. Yeah, but in fairness, the flight was like 3 pounds. So what did you expect? So, there has to be some sort of turbulence on a 3 pound flight to wherever you're going.
That's how they get it so cheap. They let people punch on with the pilots. And,
yeah. It's all part of the show.
You got to save money somehow.
Yeah, of course.
Well, this next story, parents are suing their son for £530,000 because he has failed to produce a grandchild. So an Indian couple are taking their son and daughter-in-law to court in what is believed to be a legal first, due to the reason being behind the fact they don't have grandchildren.
Yeah. I hope my parents don't read this story. Find out about it, because that'd be awkward. But yeah, they really want a grandkid that bad. They're like, fuck you. We're taking you to court. If you don't have a kid.
It's caused them mental agony and harassment.
I mean, that's just dangerous, because now we could go out and just like have kids with all these women, and now you've got like 40 kids to look after.
Well, they're saying that that they demand that their son give them a child a grandchild within a year, or pay them £520,000.
Why? That's the question, is why?
Well, because they paid for his upbringing, which was expensive. And it says that they paid for their wedding at a 5-star hotel, gave them a luxury car worth £63,000, and supported them financially for 2 years until he managed to find a job as a pilot. Maybe this is the pilot who got into that fight. Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean...
They also paid for his son and daughter-in-law to go to Thailand on an expensive honeymoon.
All right. But where in that situation did the son say, guarantee you grandchildren within X amount of time? I think, it's a tricky one, because maybe he has loads of kids. He just hasn't told his parents about them. With all these different women, because he's a pilot, he's traveling around. He could have like a different kid in every city he visits. So
imagine that was the reverse of this, and he was like, well, actually, mom and dad, I have 20 kids, so at £530,000 each, now you owe me £10 million.
Yeah, there you go. It's again, though, maybe mind your business when it comes to whether your kids are going to have kids themselves. That's all, to all the parents out there, just, not directed at any two particular parents at all, just in general.
So he says he wants his son to return the 25 million rupees, or about £265,000 he spent on bringing him up, plus the same sum again for damages.
It's kind of like fuck you. We didn't like you. We just brought you up so you'd have kids yourself. Fucking prick. So, you know, bit mean. Could like give him 10% for like that was what we would have spent on your upbringing. But no, wants double the money.
Classic. All right. Well, the next one is maybe the reverse a little bit of that. So, wife accused of hacking off lazy husband's balls with chainsaw before cooking them.
Ooh, yeah. You don't want to cook them. It's not.
That's taking it too far.
There's nothing goes well with balls. It's, you know.
You've tried everything.
Here's your steak and balls.
Ketchup doesn't taste as good.
Yeah, it's just
applesauce.
Yeah, it just doesn't work, man. It just doesn't work. So yeah. Well, I mean, so this was a lazy husband. This is a warning, I think. So she was like, "Fuck you, you lazy prick! I'm cutting your balls off." And then we're going to cook. Why? Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was a warning because she did stab him to death, apparently, allegedly. Before cutting him into pieces and boiling his remains in a huge pan.
Okay. Well, that went south pretty quickly. Her
teenage daughter also witnessed the gruesome killing. So, yeah.
Oh, well.
A child from a previous marriage.
Happy family occasion. Yeah, lots of lots to digest right there in many ways. I hope just for comedy effect, the mother was completely calm and just said to the daughter, "Dinner's ready." It's like, you want one ball or two? We're going to share these balls, all right?
Now, do you like yours medium rare or medium well?
Oh, that's, yeah, I don't know. The fact she cooked the balls, that's the weird thing to me. I'm like, people kill people, that happens, but most of them don't cook the parts that are left over. So
I don't know. I mean, if you're going to kill them, you may as well at least try. Like, you've already gone that far. Why not at least find out? Like, what if you always wondered what balls taste like?
I mean, just there's probably other ways.
Or you found a nice recipe and just wanted to try it out.
You're reading a book. 2 human testicles, 400 grams of sugar. What? Wait a minute.
Both she and neighbors reported that the couple often fought, often due to jealousy and alleged laziness. Now, in one incident, she allegedly set fire to the bed where her husband was sleeping.
That's pretty much a big warning sign right there. If you're asleep and the bed is set on fire, yeah, you might be in trouble here.
Well, they'd been together for a whole 2 years. Okay. And in that time, he had even spent a month in custody after she reported him to the police.
Well, there you go.
And then he was banned from approaching his wife at the time of the incident. However, both had chosen to ignore the legal order.
Okay. All right. So 2 lessons to be learned. Number 1, if your wife sets your bed on fire. Is. I mean, that's one, yeah. But if your wife sets your bed on fire while you're in the bed, she might be upset with you. And the second thing is,
I think that you got to stop being lazy at that point.
I think at that point, you're going to get pretty active. At least in that moment, you're going to jump around. You're going to be like, what the fuck's going on? But, you gotta maybe think to yourself, she might not be the right one for me. I'm just saying there are landmarks,
maybe
trees.
He's into it.
I mean, maybe, yeah.
Maybe he wanted to have his balls eaten as a fetish.
He might have. He could be really fucking happy right now.
I mean, he's dead, but
wherever,
he could be looking down on heaven.
whatever,
from heaven.
yeah, or looking up from.
No. I believe this man went to heaven.
I mean, what? Yeah, if someone ate his balls, I think you just get a pass. Like, there you go. Someone ate your balls. You get a free pass to whatever the fuck you want.
You mean a terrible person. You're rude, disrespectful. But, once you've had your balls eaten.
That's the cheat code. If when you die, somebody eats your balls, straight to heaven. There you go.
Yeah. Now, you've been eating burgers incorrectly your whole life.
Okay.
According to TGI Fridays, they're arguing that you've been eating burgers upside down.
All right. Well, I already have many issues with TGI Fridays, but let's start another one.
One which I want to fight the manager over.
There's no fucking Jack Daniels in their Jack Daniels sauce. I'm just saying.
There is if you bring your own.
Then you get kicked out for bringing yours. Say fucking you can't win.
If you walk into the kitchen and pour your own Jack Daniels into your sauce, it's a win-win. Or you join the Flip It Challenge, where they say, according to our experts, the best way to eat a burger is to flip it upside down. The thicker top bun soaks up the burger juices, keeping that flavor in for longer. Now, I want to meet the expert.
Yeah, me too. I was just going to say the same thing. I want to know how they became a burger expert, what the qualifications required are, and how I apply for a job.
So they said the crown, the top of the bun, is generally thicker than the heel. So for a better eating experience, you should actually flip it upside down to eat it. The crown will hold the weight of everything else, and there is less likelihood of it falling apart in your hands. A true burger connoisseur should always eat their burgers upside down.
Do you know what you do? TGI Fridays, you pricks. Make a thicker bottom bun instead.
No. It does say burgers are served the way they are purely through aesthetics.
It sounds like they're making up bullshit, and they've always done it. As I said, there's no Jack Daniels in their Jack Daniels sauce, and they're just a pack of pricks. So they can kiss my ass. I'll eat my burger however I want. Sideways is usually my preferred option. So I win, best of both worlds.
I reckon we are going to start the sideways challenge.
Yeah.
All burgers should be eaten sideways.
Everything fucking sideways.
Everything. Drink a coffee sideways.
Yeah. Just to piss off TGI Friday for this one thing they've said.
Well, this person might have the qualifications to be a burger connoisseur. Okay. Although I call out this story and say, where is the proof? But in any event, so a Wisconsin man eats his way to the Guinness World Record with daily Big Macs for 50 years. So for 50 years, this guy is eating a Big Mac every day.
Yeah. I saw this story and I was like, we've all seen Super Size Me. Like that dude was not healthy by the end of a month eating McDonald's every day. So
this guy was actually in it.
Oh yeah. I think I remember him actually, like a weird looking guy who was, and
he always orders a cup of Coca-Cola with his Big Mac, but it rarely
that's
eats
extra
fries.
Healthy. Yeah. So I don't know. People eat with some weird shit, but Yeah, I think every day is too much.
32,000 Big Macs, and he keeps the individual cartons that they come in for every burger he eats and labels them.
Why? That's
proof.
That's sure proof. Just when he had his first one, he was like, I'm going to keep this fucking wrapper because, this is going to be important.
In 50 years time.
50 years time. People are going to want to know how many I've eaten. Wow. That's, that's just... every month he must do up his budget and be like, well, the Big Mac budget is whatever it is this month.
Yeah.
Has a freak out when the prices go up by like 10 cents.
He has a glass case in which he proudly displays McDonald's burger cartons from various decades.
That's good for him. I'm happy he survived so long eating McDonald's every day.
As they say, not all heroes wear capes.
It's true, but wow. Yeah, there's people who work in McDonald's who don't eat McDonald's all the time. So, he's outdone himself there. But that's crazy. That is crazy. I can't. Yeah. But he should tell TGI Fridays where the fuck to go with their burger bullshit.
Does he eat them upside down? If not, I want his Guinness World Record taken back.
Yeah, exactly. He should take the sideways Big Mac challenge. So
yes. Yeah.
McDonald's, if you want to sponsor the podcast, we're available.
50 million is a starting offer. We're willing to negotiate, but we'll start there.
Our second offer is 5 million. We'll negotiate fast.
But if you give us £1 million, we will also sue you for giving us that £1 million in years to come.
Ruining our lives.
Yes.
Making us rich. Yeah, damn
it. And supporting the sideways challenge. We will sue you for every piece of lettuce that falls out of a Big Mac because
seriously, that's a real problem. So,
and that wouldn't have happened if you didn't support us. So therefore, by supporting us, you therefore ruined our lives.
Somehow that makes sense. So yeah.
Perfectly. Now, Coca-Cola has a strange rule of what employees are not allowed to conduct themselves in. So can you guess what Coca-Cola employees are forbidden from doing?
Does it involve Pepsi?
Yeah, it does actually.
Okay.
It's a bit normal of an answer. I was hoping for something like jack off into the...
Well, I was going to say something weird. I stopped myself the last second. I was like, no, I can't say that.
All right, well, for me.
I'm going to say they're not allowed to eat at restaurants that only serve Pepsi. So,
well, they're forbidden from drinking Pepsi, apparently.
You would kind of have to just break that rule just for the fucking crack.
It says that according to this person, upon being hired, you actually sign an agreement stating you will not purchase or consume any competitors' products or face termination.
Technically, water is a competitor and everyone has to pay for water. So you instantly get fired. So,
well, it's, yeah. Kind of.
So I'm just, it's a loophole. If I can pay for water, I can pay for fucking Pepsi. So there you go. And also alcohol, that counts. They make, beers and stuff. So.
And then drink it sideways.
Yeah. Drink it sideways. Sometimes you can drink alcohol upside down. That's a whole other thing, but sideways is better. But I would have presumed though that if Coca-Cola were going to be like, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do sexual activities with a Coca-Cola can or bottle. Because
no, that's fine. Just don't do it with Pepsi.
If this is not in the contract, it's perfectly allowable then in that case. I'm sorry if they don't say it specifically.
Yeah.
So, Like, just to confirm on this contract, sir, it doesn't say do not shove Coke bottles up your butt. So what's the stance? And put videos of that on the internet. What's the stance on that?
Yeah, I mean, like, what if you get a job at the Eiffel Tower? Does it say you're not allowed to consummate your marriage with the Eiffel Tower?
It doesn't. It doesn't say that at all. So.
Probably there is some law in there that...
Well, I can't read French, so not my problem. Can't read your laws, Frenchie.
If you didn't want me to do it, you would have put it in English. Well, on a final fun story from Cambodia, the government has had to warn women to stop playing with endangered penis plants.
So can we get more details on what they're doing with the penis plants? That'd be great.
Well, they're taking photos of them basically because they look like penises. And so obviously, who doesn't love a flower that looks like a penis?
I think what's happening right now is that you and I are trying to work out how we get to Cambodia just to take these pictures.
I need to go to Cambodia for a thing.
At the immigration desk. So what's your purpose of being here? Well, we're just here to take pictures.
I'm an avid connoisseur of penis-shaped plants. I mean, they would speak Cambodian, so it's not like they didn't even understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what do you, they would think that they're misinterpreting what you're saying and like having trouble with their English.
Probably. It's interesting that they had to give a warning though. Like it must be so widespread. Everyone's just like, fuck it, going out to find a penis plant.
Yeah.
Surely you can grow more plants though. How are they endangered? You know?
Well, apparently they're endangered, so there's not a lot of them out there. So if they keep picking them to shove them up themselves. And more offensively, they get small ones and make jokes about small penises. I mean, that's wrong.
I mean, that's just to be expected, I think, these days, you know. Well, you know, people have no standards or low standards. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, well, there was a 6.5 foot tall plant in Europe that a rare first time in 25 years it's bloomed penis plant in Europe as well.
Wow. So there's hope for people outside of Cambodia to get their hands on penis plants.
Or both.
Yeah.
Penis and the plant.
I feel like more garden centers need to start selling penis plants. Big signs up obscured by something, just like for sale, penis.
$2. Well, maybe, you know, when the whole Me Too thing came out that Harvey Weinstein was so turned on at some point that he jacked off into a plant.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how this happened.
Hey, oh, geez, maybe, yeah. And, you know, he's been away for a while now, so
that's why they're endangered.
Yeah, Jesus. It's
well,
rough out there for a penis plant, you know. But
next week, I think we need to be both eating burgers sideways to demonstrate the new trend.
Sounds like a plan. You know, sounds like we should do that. And also, you know, it sounds like we should win the lottery and just get into some crazy shit, you know.
Buy $300,000 worth of cocaine.
Yeah.
And tour mansions and talk about this would be a great room for the cocaine room.
Yeah, because you know they do those Hollywood house tours on YouTube, and you just see like people go to here's the home cinema, here's the awesome kitchen, be like here's the cocaine room. This is our staging area. Right next to the cocaine room. So
and here's
anyway,
the mirrors,
we'll see.
Scientifically designed to snort effectively, I guess.
Here's my wedding picture with the Statue of Liberty.
And here's a penis plant.
Yeah. Gonna be great.
And here's 45 years worth of McDonald's Big Macs. I'm trying to win a Guinness World Record and gonna have to knock this guy off.
Listen, a lot of people want to break a Guinness World Record. You got to get yourself to McDonald's. Start now. Big Mac every day for 50 years.
If you start now and you were to accidentally chainsaw that guy to death and spoil his testicles for dinner when you have your Big Mac for lunch, if you were to do that, then in the year 2073, I guess, you would be breaking a record. Just think.
I mean, yeah, I could do that. So you got to find out what the world record is for Whoppers, because then that'd be probably less time.
It's like
you could do that in
10 days. 30
funny
days.
If that's the record. You find out some dude is like, he's eaten a Whopper 3 days in a row. He's got a world record.
It just broke the 4th day. And I mean, yeah, if we go back to the early days of this, there's got to have been like some guy does 4 days, some guy does 7 days. Like you don't just start at 50 years.
No. I wonder, has the guy ever eaten anything else at McDonald's, by the way? Has he ever been tempted by a filet o fish or something?
Well, what if you went there and they were out of Big Mac, I don't know, sauce or something, and therefore they couldn't make a Big Mac? Was he then frantically driving around, where can I get a decent Big Mac in this town?
The funny thing was, if he gets barred from his McDonald's, I'll make my own Big Mac at home. Fuck you guys.
There's 6 McDonald's within 5 mile radius of here, so.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Anyway, got to go get a Big Mac now. So, start my claim to greatness in 50 years time, 51 years time.
Imagine as a kid growing up. When I grow up, I want to have that record.
Yeah. I just think once I hit 85 years of age, I'm not going to want to eat Big Macs anymore.
Up until 84, though, all good.
It'll be a struggle. We'll struggle on. Unless you miss a day and you're like, no. You get 45 years into it. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, well, I mean, what if you get the flu, you get COVID or something like that? And
yeah.
These are the real tragedies of COVID that no one talks about.
Yeah, people on their way to world records that got fucked up.
Yeah. Some guy who was into year 4 of his Big Mac journey.
Now I got to start again. No. Just be like, one day order 50 Big Macs and be like, that makes up for it. It's fine. It's 50 in one go. That's a record. Yeah, exactly. I have all these cartons that you can't prove I didn't eat them on the same. I did eat them on the same day or whatever. Just take my word for it. It's all good.
I demand proof. If there's nothing we get from this, we demand accountability and proof that this man actually ate for 50 years. Otherwise, I call into question Guinness World Records in general.
Doesn't have his receipts for every single one. I'm not buying it.
Yeah. So. And the carton for every single one.
Yeah.
And video evidence of him eating it. Because what if he bought it, kept the carton, but someone else ate it?
Yeah. So we want good video footage, the receipt, the carton, and an anecdote of
I won't accept anything less than 4K.
Yeah, of course.
Otherwise it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. It's too easy to fake otherwise. So, get your stuff ready. It's a world record. You got to be, spot on with this stuff. So, there you go.
Yeah.
This dude's probably going to see this and be like, how dare those fuckers?
This will be his favorite podcast. He'll love it. Don't worry.
Yeah, probably. A lot of people there.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been a good one. I've learned a lot this week, about marrying sex dolls, divorcing them for other sex dolls, and various testicle recipes. So it's been interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And we started the sideways challenge. So
we did. Everything sideways all the time. All right, man. Well, I guess we'll do it all again next week.
And we'll see you next week.